Wagwan people, it's your girl Tamar, also known as Unique Tay, and welcome back to my channel. Let's get straight to it, guys. This is part 2 to my series called Addressing the Haters, okay? This is story time. I'm going to talk to you about my personal experiences with my ex-best friends who bullied me, harassed me, and yeah, basically that's it. We're going to be talking about bullying and harassment from the people closest to you, from all those so-called friends or even family members as well, who first appear that they love what you're doing, they've got your back, but turns out that they don't, sadly. If this is you, meaning if you've experienced this, please watch until the end, and I hope that you will leave feeling a lot more reassured and confident within yourself to speak up. But if you've also been a victim of bullying and harassment, whether it's by friends, families, strangers even, which is kind of rare most of the time, and even work colleagues, because workplace bullying is another topic. Please watch to the end of this video. If you like what you hear and see, please by all means give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe. And before I start, like I always say to people, to all my newbies out there, wagwan to you too. I see you wherever you are around the world. This one is for you. Anyway, let's get straight to it. So if you remember, in my first video I talked about cyberbullying, online bullying and harassment, and it was very particular, rooted in race, cultural identity. There's a lot of prejudice that I talk about in episode 1, and I also talk about being an artist, a dance artist based in the UK and full. So in this video I'm going to be talking about going through bullying, harassment and fake people from the ones that you know, the ones who are closest to you. Now this one hits home even harder than the first episode because of the relationship that we had for so many years. We've been friends for over 20 odd years. I know, let down Greg. Yeah. And it's took me so much courage to get to this point to just talk about it. I never thought that I'd ever talk about it to you guys and let it out to the world. They're probably watching right now. They're probably listening in thinking, oh, what's Tamar up to now, and still following what I'm doing quietly in the background. If you're watching this, then wagwan boo, listen up right to the end, because you're going to enjoy this, because the truth really does hurt. But these friends, I know them from school days, straight throughout school, college, and then even when I went to university, even when I graduated. They were really close friends, and I called them family because they showed up to every part of my life and everything. They know so much about me, so much about my siblings, my parents, my families, and vice versa. So this isn't a standard friendship. It is more than that. Both my parents said on different occasions, by the way, like I'm talking months apart, yeah, that I was growing and evolving into somebody. I was doing something for myself, and they hadn't evolved and grown in their career path and what it is that they wanted to do. And they kept finding ways to kind of scrutinize themselves by comparing themselves to me. And it's not a very comfortable situation when someone says, oh yeah, but you've got this, you've got that, you've done this, you've done that. I don't like comparisons. I don't like being compared to. I don't like comparing myself to others. It's not healthy. It's not going to help you grow. And I truly believe that this contributes to resentment. It contributes to bitterness as well, and an ego. But that ego can turn into just pure toxic attitudes and behaviors. And that's everything that I experienced over a period of years, to the point where it blew up in my face so badly, to the point where I had counselling. I had to have counselling in order for me to reach a safe space mentally, my whole psycho, spiritually. They don't know this because I haven't told them that, but they probably know now that they're listening, and that's totally okay. Long story short, I'll get to the point where that blew up, then I'll go backwards a bit because it will then make sense. And again, I don't know how long this video will last. I always say I'll keep it short and sweet, but we'll see how that goes. The last time I spoke to these people, the last time we connected, ended on a very, very bad vibe. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, guys. Let's take this pain to the grave, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this right now. So We went out with a group of friends, pool area. That particular night, I felt really uncomfortable with just their behaviour, their attitude with themselves. Not with me, you know, not with strangers, just with themselves. And I was thinking to myself, you know, girls, time to grow up a little bit. Maybe it's just me, I've just grown, and it's just like, I didn't shun over them, I didn't judge them for it, I just observed it, and I thought, this is sad, so I need to pull them up and let them know what I'm witnessing, you know, and I thought I'll do that on myself, on my own terms, when I'm ready. And I'm not the type of person that feels the need to tell everybody and spread Chinese whispers or hearsay, so-and-so did this, did that. I'm not like that at all. I kind of observe a lot of people's behaviours and attitudes in the space that I'm in, whether it's directly to me or indirectly. So I thought, all right, I'm going to keep it in the back of my mind. Long story short, the reason why this blew up even more, why it was even harder for me to really cope with it, because they kept on making a lot of remarks, disrespectful remarks, and a lot of racist remarks. And sad to say, this episode 2 is partly about race again. This is the world that we're living in, guys. Race exists. We need to talk about it and accept it. And people can be prejudiced to others and even towards their own people, sadly, worldwide. Okay? So they made a lot of racist comments. Now, I don't know if people are prepared for me to say what I've got to say. Number one, out of nowhere, we were at their house with a group of other friends, and the news was on. And at that time, 3 years ago, the news was about a terrorist attack. Friends then made a comment and says, oh, we have to be careful of all the Muslims. So I was just like, what do you mean? I says, what do you mean we need to be careful of Muslims? Where are you going with that comment? I'm not okay with it. So they didn't get where I was coming from and letting them know that it wasn't okay to make that ignorant statement, because it was a statement they're making. And they said, yeah, we have to be careful of our nephew, because we don't want our nephew to get shot at or stabbed in the school because of Muslims. So we're looking to take him out of school and put him into a school near us where it's safer. That's exactly what they said. I was so taken back, so crushed. I'm not Muslim, by the way. My family are not Muslim. However, it's still not okay to make those statements and those remarks. And I was deeply offended. I really didn't know what to say. Me and another friend that was there, she also heard and felt it, and she was offended too. So later on in that evening, still at their home, they continued to make racial remarks about different ethnic groups. Okay. The next comment, Indians turned around and said, I will never date someone from an Indian culture. And I just sat there again, and I says, what did you just say? And they says, oh, I don't know about you, maybe you would, but I wouldn't. And I was just, even right now, I can't even get my words out. I can't even fathom the whole experience anymore, because it was just disgusting. And I thought, I cannot be friends with them. After this night, I cannot, with my conscious mind, continue to associate myself with these ex-friends. And it was even more disappointing because we've been friends from childhood. Yeah, we were brought up in a very multicultural area, so it makes me kind of question, like, what did they learn? What did they see? What were they exposed to? What were kind of education that they were being informed at home? And everything always starts at home, people. At that point, I made up my mind. I had made up my mind that they are no longer part of my life, sadly. We're planning to go on a night out and a meal out with a group of people. And we hadn't even made it to the restaurant yet. And already they've pissed me off and hurt me, offended me. And even me saying this hurt and offended me. I'm not of those ethnic cultural groups, but it's still offensive, because I know as a black woman, you know, how draining it is and dehumanizing it is for someone to make a racist remark about you and your whole identity that you can't change. So to hear them say it about others, it's like, that's not okay. I'm not going to be okay with it. Why would I be? I have every right to be mad. I have every right to speak up and stand up for what I believe in. Now, but because it was just coming out of their awareness, and that's not me making up excuses for them, it's the fact that this is coming from their subconscious mind as well, so I can look deeper. When people say things off guard and they don't realise it, or just slipping out in a sentence, that's really a subconscious mind. It's in your psycho. So I was just like, this is deeper than what it really is. And it took me back to what my dad said years ago about them, actually, was the fact that they have a deep-rooted problem with themselves. I'm not sorry for saying that if you're watching this right now, but the truth hurts, okay? So long story short, after that nasty energy and just pure racism at their house, the taxi had come. And I was saying to my friend, I really don't want to go ahead. I really feel like I just want to go home now because I'm just not in that same spirit before. And my friend was saying, oh, I want to go too, but it's going to look bad if we both go. So why don't we just both just stay, stick it out, sleep on it, you know, deal with it the next day, whatever. So I thought, all right then. I thought, you know what, this particular friend I was with, I ain't seen her for so long. We haven't been out for so long together. So we thought, in our minds, it was like, we're going to have our own night, okay, in that moment. So we went in the taxi, get to the area, the city that we were going. Did it stop? No. They continued to make random remarks slipping off their tongue to the point where it was like, this is burning me, it's eating me up inside, I have to say something. So here's an example of what happened. One example, guys, tip of the iceberg. We come out the taxi because the trip was about a 30-minute drive, literally. We paid the taxi man, and then now we needed to find where this restaurant was because we booked the table. First person that came up to us happened to be a white man, and he's walking with his partner, who's also white, British. They both just was walking by, so he was like, oh, go and ask them. So my friends was standing closest to him and asked them, where's this restaurant? Could you help us find it? So that guy made just a joke, a huge laughing joke, said, oh, you know, have you heard of Google Maps these days? And he was just laughing. I can tell that he was just being a joker at that point. He reminded me of my brother when he did it, because that's what my brother would do. Like, turn around, made like a indirect comment towards him behind his back saying, oh, you stupid white man. You don't want to tell us where the restaurant is because we're black. What? I couldn't take it. I was just like, are you being for real? Are you being for real? Could you not tell in his energy that he was just joking? And it had nothing to do with race at that point. Look, people, if you don't know me, get to know me. I love to have topics about race and culture, race relations. Generally, I'm really intellectual. I love politics in that way, but I don't like it in this context. I don't like it when people are throwing shade and hurting others and harming others and jumping to conclusions and blowing up things bigger than what it is. I don't like that. I don't tolerate it, and I don't want to associate myself in that. Okay, now this is the point where I turn away and go home and don't apologize, don't explain myself, just go. And I felt so awkward and anxious because, like I said at the start of this video, we were so close as friends. I mean, I'm talking about since year one, reception, brought up together. It's harder to separate yourself, and it's also harder to explain and to kind of call somebody out of their wrongdoings. Now, if you've watched this far of this video so far, you've had close friends, associates, a partner, siblings, family, who you were so close with, you had a lot of love and respect, and then they just turn the other cheek on you, or you just see their true colours towards somebody else or something else, that makes you question their whole integrity. It makes you question everything about them, and you're like, no, this is not what I want. How does that make you feel? I really want to know. Drop your comments in the description below, please. Let me know. Have you experienced anything like this before, or is it just to me? Or just have you just come across fake friends, really? I'm going to get to the fake bits shortly. Please watch it to the end, trust me. So we managed to find the restaurant. When we get to the restaurant, we were running late for our table. And when you run late to a table in a restaurant, you have to wait even longer. Now, this was a Chinese restaurant. Chinese restaurants are so... The others at the table were starting to speculate that the Chinese restaurant was being racist. So these girls are now saying, look, they've served all these other tables. We're the only black table here. They haven't served us yet. So I was like, wow. So then the other girl that was in the group was like, I'm going to investigate this and have a word with the manager or staff to talk about it. I says, you know, you go, girl. You speak up and say something. point, I was the only one at that table. My friends, the one with the racist tendencies, came back to the table with a drink in their hand, laughing about it, and said to me in my face, and said, why is it always going to be about race with you guys for? So I didn't say anything. I was like, what? I'm going to shut my mouth because I said too much shit already. Why is it always about race for? We've got nothing to worry about because we have lighter skin, and they know that we are part white, so they're not going to bother us. They'll only bother you because your skin is too dark. That's exactly what they said. And there's no real reason for me to lie about that because, guys, that was 3 years ago, and I vividly remember those events. I remember every single word. I remember where I was sitting. I remember what time it was. I remember what restaurant we were in, and I remember where we were all sitting at the table. Did I just say that? That's how much it got to me. That's how much it hurt my soul. It wasn't only an insult, it was a total disrespect to my ancestors. It was a total disrespect to not just who I am, being black and a woman, but to all my brothers and sisters worldwide who have dark skin across all cultures. It is a total disrespect and insult to basically tell us that people attract negative problems in life because of our skin colour. We know already that dark-skinned people all over the world suffer the most. And the question is for those who don't understand this, can't comprehend it, haven't really studied history, the question is why? Think about it. Why do dark-skinned people suffer the most across all cultures? Those words stuck with me so much. I didn't go to work that week, I remember 3 years ago. It took me well over 10 months at that point to actually speak with a counsellor and even talk with my GP that, you know, I've been feeling mentally drained, I've been feeling really demotivated, I feel mentally sick just off that sentence. And it wasn't just that sentence, it was many of the connotations behind it. It's history, it's oppression, it's day to day, and the fact that it's from the people closest to me who know me more than any of my other friends that I've ever had would have the nerve to say that to me, directly to me, and tell me that the problems that we were facing that night was because of me and my dark skin. The fact that they compared that to them having lighter skin, so they were safe, they were fine. This right here is just classic it's not only privilege, it's just utter and being willfully ignorant. It's not just the colorism that bothers me, it's when folks don't take no accountability, don't want to do better, don't want to own up. An apology is going to do nothing, because apology means nothing without action. I haven't seen no positive actions from them since. I didn't tell anybody, the rest of the group, what had happened, because it was only me sitting at the table and them. So it really is my word against theirs. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if people believe me or not. But if it wasn't true and if it didn't mean that much to me, why would I be here? This is helping me to move on. It really is. It feels so good. It feels like I've lifted so much off my shoulders just speaking right now. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this video. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I wanted it to be short and sweet, but Lord knows it was never going to be a short and sweet topic. It's not going to be a sweet topic for sure, because it's not. And I'm not apologising if I offend anybody, because I have to really speak the truth. So the following day, after I spoke to my mum about it, my mum says, don't you dare contact them anymore. I'm just going to say things for what it is. I'm going to be clear and concise. I'll keep it so PG, like key stage 1, key stage 2. I'll quote unquote everything. I'm not going to beat around the bush. So I text them, and they straight away said, what is it? Straight away I felt that negative energy in a message, and I was a bit like, why are they responding to me like that? For all I said is, there's something I would like to talk to you about. Do you mind? So I kind of gave them that space and that time. They didn't have to reply back straight away. They could have picked up the phone straight away. I could have picked up the phone, I'll be honest. They could have gave it time. So I let them know that there's got to be a problem that I'm bringing up now. So I said, yesterday at the restaurant and at your house that evening, you made a lot of kind of racial remarks that I found quite offensive, and I want to bring this to your awareness. And I also want to let you know that I don't feel like it's okay. So the best thing for me to do as a friend is to hold you accountable. They totally skipped over and glazed over all the other ethnic groups that I've just mentioned, went straight to the black people because they are okay. I was just like, no. They were basically justifying why they made a colourist disgusting insult about my dark skin, not just about me, dark skin alone. They were basically saying, well, I'm part black too, so I can say what I want. What's your problem, Tamar? That's how it came across, in a very aggressive manner, very ignorant. So I was just taken back. I didn't even reply back at that point because I had to breathe. I had to put it down and walk away out the room. Literally, that's what I did. So I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that now. I logged back on my WhatsApp, and it was just back-to-back messages. It was horrible. The words, the phrases thrown at me were just beyond my, not even a control. It was just vile. They turn and says to me, we knew you had a problem with this anyway. You are a hater. You're just hating on us. You always, what are you talking about? And the turn says, you don't like us. You don't like mixed race people. You want us all dead. What's this about? Where's this going? Why would I ever fix my mouth to say that? I was so flabbergasted. I had to screenshot that message, you know. I haven't got it now because my old phone, and I just got rid of it. At that moment, I had to screenshot it. I was like, this is receipts right here for the shade and the insults they're throwing at me, and the lies too. And even before I could really I hate to say redeem myself, but it felt like the tables had turned that quickly that I had to apologise for something I don't even know what I was apologising for. That right there, guys, you call somebody out something, you talk about something and they get at you and attack you for it, and causes you to feel like you're the instigator rather than the victim. They've just gaslighted you right there in front of your very own eyes. That's what I went through. It was a very harsh experience. They said that I don't like them. They made accusations that I want them dead. They also said that I've made accusations about their mother. What? Like, to lick 30 years old. Have I got time to talk about someone's mom? Some of the words. Seriously. They called me pathetic. They said I'm childish. They said I'm disgusting. They said I don't deserve respect. They says that no wonder nobody likes you. That's what they said to me. They also said you think you're better than everybody else because you went to university. Jealousy, or you just feel fed up in your own life that you didn't achieve anything. You don't have to go to university, by the way, to make an achievement. It was my achievement on my path. I don't need to explain to somebody, and I don't need someone who's 30 years old, whining like they're 12 years old, complaining about somebody else's life. Childish. Still, they misinterpreted everything that I said. They didn't comprehend what I was trying to say. They didn't apologise, didn't take no accountability. The shame and pain is all on me, on my shoulders. It is all my fault. I'm the one that talks about race all the time and offends people or make nasty comments all the time. That's what they said to me, that it's all my fault apparently. That right there could drive someone right down into their psycho and let them know that they're not worthy of respect on this planet. That's how serious it is. And if you're watching this, shame on you. If you want to believe that you are the bigger person and you're not childish, you would have stepped up by now, took some accountability and apologised through action. That girl code went straight out of the window. I felt disrespected as a woman. So call it for female empowerment to you. You don't know what it even means. I'm so taken back. And guys, you know what made it even worse with this situation? Those ex-friends, all those words and the phrases and the accusations, the lies that they came up to me was a total reflection of themselves. They literally, everything they said to me was how they were behaving at that moment and how they've behaved in the past that I've noticed. And then they go around to back themselves up, to defend themselves because they needed an army of other people behind them. They decided to tell everybody. They told the other girls who joined us that evening. Then they told obviously their friends, family, and I don't know who else in their circle, because they needed to get their story out. And I always believe there's always two sides to everything. There always is. In this circumstance, I can't think about what their side would be because I quoted everything that they said and behaved in less than 24 hours. I slept on it literally. So what did I have to say? What do you have to say? What really hurt me, what really just took me by surprise and disgusted me, was going to meet my sister and I bump into them, talking to my sister there and then. I was in a rush, I had to go and meet my sister, so I went right up to my sister with both of them. I gave them eye contact because I give people eye contact because I can see you, I don't ignore you. They didn't give me no eye contact, they completely washed me out like I didn't exist. I mean, oh God, it's so cold and hurtful. And then they gave my sister a hug right in front of my face and kind of almost pushed me out of the way. My sister her face looked really, she looked white, like literally like what the hell? Because I know they've said something negative about me to my sister. I already told my sister the situation about what happened anyway. She already knew from the get-go and gave her the heads up. This was about them making racist comments about almost every ethnic group, literally. And I've heard them say on different occasions in life that I've tried to pull them up on there and then they don't get it. They even made nasty comments about Africans, you know, saying, I don't like them gorillas, calling black men gorillas. I'll never forget that day. Do you know what I mean? And I'll pull them up on that too and I quoted that and I still don't get it. Instead of owning up, because obviously it's a shameful thing. Nobody likes to be called a racist. I get that. I can see it. When you're being called up for something you actually did, it's like there's no running away. And then instead of owning up to it, you have to turn it around, put yourself in the middle, behave like the victim, blah, blah. You don't like me. Hey, grow the F up. You did wrong. It was wrong. And now the world knows on YouTube. And I'm not going to pull this video down. It took me 3 years to get this up, and what? There you go. But yeah, I mean, that's the moral of the story. I'm going to stop now because I realise we're going so long. I like to keep my videos under an hour. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, you know. The shade and the pigmentation of my skin clearly is a threat to others. Let it continue to be a threat, do you know what I mean? Because I'm pure excellence, living right now. Got nothing to apologise for. I'm not going to dip my head down and shrug my shoulders down just so you can feel confident about yourself because you truly feel insecure within yourself and your own identity. This is a classic example of an identity crisis. I never thought I'd ever do a video on this topic before. I never thought that I'd put it out there online. It takes a lot of courage to really do this, but I'm going to do it because I know a lot of people can relate worldwide. I know a lot of people want to learn more, be engaged and informed and educated about these type of topics, because this type of topic in episode 1 was more of an internal one within my own community. So whatever community you are from and you've picked up on these type of attitudes and behaviours of people and you've tried to call them out and it blew up in your face, I want to know how you dealt with it, how it made you feel, how did you get back up. So if you like this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more top videos like this, real talk, story time type of videos. I need to hear from you because this is your channel too, guys. Alright, good night and see you on the other side. Bye.